was CAF Day at BMO Field recently. Over 1,000 CAF players were there and took in the festivities, including the incredible reopening of BMO Field. More to come on that in just a moment. Hey folks, this is CAF TV. Welcome, I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Lots to get caught up on today. The boys from Chantilly Forever will join me here in the studio to discuss their academy, which really has fascinating origins going all the way back to Jamaica. Also, as mentioned, CAF players were front and center with TFC at BMO recently, a part of CAF's new association with the Reds, and we'll have the full story for you. But first, the game highlights, and we kick things off today with the under-16 division. Pace FC had the unenviable task of taking on national champs Epic Toronto in their very first CAF game last week. A 6-0 spanking followed. No shame in that. Teams have lost far worse to that Epic juggernaut. Last Saturday, they had a chance to right the ship against fellow CAF newcomers Mississauga United. Unfortunately, it got no better for Pace in their second game either. CAF highlights now, brought to you by Leica Sports. Leica, your passion, our commitment. Yeah, Pace were in tough against United, who had a tie in their first game against DFC. The calm before the storm at Centennial Stadium. United hit early and often in this one, just 4 minutes in. Beautiful pass for Giordano Mancini, and it's a goal. 1-0 Missy early on. 10 minutes later. Just take a look here at the move by Anthony Courage to shake his defender. Then he hits Mancini again, who hits the back of the net. Mississauga up 2-0, and they just keep on coming. 17th minute now, Jacob Carlos threads it to Sean Costa, who had a big game last week. And another goal this week. Mississauga rolling, they're up 3-0 at this point. Poor Pace, they couldn't buy one. Max Ferrari charges down the wing, just slides it wide of the far post though, and yeah, it was that kind of a day for Pace. United took full advantage of their opportunities though. Jacob Fashanu, too much time and space as he slides it home. 4-0 for United. Second half was Zach Vesnever's time to shine though. The Pace goalie did what he could for his squad. He robs Dante Walks not once, but twice within a minute on clear breakaways here, coming off his line to make the monster stops. Great plays by the Pace goalie. The scoreline definitely wasn't Zach's fault. 5-0 Mississauga, your final. Pace just overwhelmed on the day. Not to worry, boys, it'll come. Giordano Mancini had a big day for United, and he liked what he saw from his team.
Thought we had a good game today, possession-wise. Obviously, we came out with the win. I think we could have capitalized on a couple more of opportunities. Yeah, I liked the way our team was playing together. So.
Okay, as mentioned, Epic started with a bang 2 weeks ago with a big win against Pace. Now, Saturday, Brampton Elite was their opposition, a squad newly promoted to the Under-16 Supergroup, and as Elite showed, they were promoted for good reason, as they gave Epic all they could handle. Epic dominated Pace last week, nothing, but the going got much tougher against Brampton Elite. 29th minute, Michael Washington with the golden chance here, but Dilman Glawal, Johnny on the spot right there to deny the Epic chance. Just a minute later, it's Washington yet again, and I'll tell you, this guy doesn't miss these chances from in close, but keeper Jaspreet Dalwal there to keep it scoreless with the beautiful save. Second half now, Ronaldo Marshall goes to work for Epic. 4 goals last week, and he adds to his yearly total as he turns the Brampton defense inside out, slots the ball home, and Epic are on the board, up 1-0. 56th minute now, off the free kick here. There's confusion between Dalwal and his defender, and Ronaldo right there for the easy tap in, and it's a 2-spot for Epic. The boys in orange just keep on coming. Dylan Martin's out front here, but oops, just wide of the far post, can't tuck it in. Then another golden chance moments later as Martins is denied by Dalwal initially, and then on the second effort, Epic, oops, just can't make it happen. Elite gets one back though, do they ever? Sahib Nagra from the ridiculous angle, 20 yards out, goes barred down. Booyah, tattoos that shot, gorgeous. And that's as close as Elite would get, though, on this day. 2-1 Epic, your final. Elite stayed with them for most of the game, but same as Farrell felt in the second half. Epic really held the balance of play?
For sure, I think we did great as a group. In the second half, we were building up our confidence and we were starting to move the ball from one side of the field to the other. And I believe, the second half was our half. Of course, they're bigger, so we have to play a little more physical, and they're really quick on the ball, so we have to step to the ball as quick as possible.
Okay, one more game to tell you about in the under-16 group. DFC Academy doubling up ADP in a tight contest June 4th from Centennial Stadium, Manitoba. Welcome back to CAF TV. On to the men's open group now. Brampton City United taking on the Atomic Selects. City did well to hold powerful Toronto, Croatia to a tie in their opener 2 weeks ago. And against Atomic, they proved once again why they're going to be a tough squad to keep down this year. Atomic looking for their first points of the season after dropping their opening game to BSC the week before. The first half belonged to Atomic, though. Michael Brody steals and 1-0 for Toronto Atomic. Second frame, Atomic continues to hold the balance of play at first. Free kick is stopped, but Brody with his second of the game, and it is a beauty. 2-0 for Toronto Atomic. Brampton does hit back to make it 2-1, and then off the free kick, the defense doesn't clear out. Alex Cowlett and B-Town knots things up at 2 apiece. United continues to press. Keeper Andre Kulik has to bail out his boys with a big stop on Ezekiel Vidali there. And then moments later, he victimizes Vidali again and smothers the second chance for good measure right there. He was livid with his D on this one, though, as they give Brampton way too much time. And then finally, bang, in it goes, and no wonder he's upset. That proved to be the game winner for United. Brampton showing some serious heart there, coming back from the 2-0 deficit to steal the 3 points. Atomic now pointless in their first 2 games of the season. Okay, 2 teams who had draws in their first game. Toronto, Croatia taking on Epic Toronto. A windy night for football from the USA, but Croatia puts on a show. Early on, Epic keeper Michael Kulic sitting way too far back in the net, and he gets burned. Croatia's Alden Kukic with the goal, 1-0 Croats. And then Kulic gets hung out to dry here as nobody watches. Pedro Manalo, who makes it look way too easy. 2-0 Toronto, Croatia. Epic hits back, though, late in the first. Justin Paulo unmarked out front, and the lead is cut in half to 2-1. Second frame, though, Croatia continues to push hard. Dennis Poric with one of the goals of the week from just outside the box. Hammers it home, and Croatia back up by a deuce. A penalty made it 4-1 Croatia, and then Epic pinching gets caught in their back line as Kukic slides in behind for the easy tap-in. Epic grabs a second one off the gorgeous header here late in the contest, but they would draw no closer on this day. 5-2 Croats, your final. Just too many weapons for the Blues as they dominate for most of the contest and are now undefeated through the first 2 games. One more score to tell you about in the open group as Supernova doubles up BSC Academy 4-2 on June 5th from the Ontario Soccer Centre. Okay, to the under 14 super group we move now. ADP, very impressive so far this year, taking on Toronto International, and it was all ADP in this one. Just the 5th minute, nice stop, but Matthew Radovoisa, he had a game for ADP, and as he grabs the opening goal, and then some pinball here in the box as the ball bounces around. Finally, Mateus Melo deflects it home, 2-0 for ADP. 31st minute now, Radovoisa continues his torrid ways with the one-timer placed absolutely perfectly right there. 3-0 ADP. The nameless Toronto goalie, I say nameless because they didn't list him on the game sheet, which is a shame. 2 massive stops here, especially the second one right there. Saves of the week, actually. Mr. X, we tip our hats to you. Second half, more pain from Toronto International. ADP up 4-0 now. Beautiful ball movement. Mr. Radovoisa hammers it home. 5-0 through 49 minutes of play. 55th minute, Gurjit Singh to the tiny assassin Shayan Amrani, and it's 6-0 for ADP off the nice goal right there. And then finally, Elias Goritsas just chilling out front. He knocks it home, and it's 7-0 ADP. Toronto gets a great chance before the final whistle. Kai Garvey does nice to get past the keeper here, but slides it just wide of the far post. Tough luck, tough day for Toronto International. Shutout by ADP, who have looked extremely impressive this year. Matthew Radovoisa was man of the match for ADP on the day.
We moved the ball pretty well, moved it fast, and we finished our chances. Also, we played a strong defensive game. We didn't let in any goals. So, yeah, pretty good performance.
Okay, one more game to tell you about in the under-14 group on a very soggy Sunday afternoon. Epic Academy blanks London Elite in a very tight game. The league table, let's see where all the teams currently sit, starting with the under-14 group. Epic and ADP, both with 2 wins in 2 games so far. They sit atop with 6 points apiece. And London Elite sitting in third currently with a win and a thus far. The under-16 group sees Epic also on top there with 2 wins in 2 games. DFC and Mississauga United tied for second with 4 points each. And then it's Chantilly FC with 3 points off 1 win so far. And finally, the open group, Supernova, Toronto, Croatia, and Brampton City, all currently in a tie for first place with a win and a draw. The Atomic Selects, the only team thus far yet to garner a point. Welcome back to CAF TV. Alex Bastiavansky here in the Rogers studio, joined now by 2 members of Chantilly Forever FC Academy. And yeah, it's an interesting name. We're going to get to maybe a little background behind that in just a moment. But first of all, head coach Tony Scaduto to my immediate left, and assistant coach Jimmy. Next, guys, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just got back from a big showcase tournament in Columbus, actually, did the guys, and pretty successful weekend, wasn't it? What happened?
Yeah, it was really good. It was Columbus Crew MLS Showcase Tournament. We went down, and the whole idea was team building and bonding and making sure we had some good results, obviously. We went 3-0, and the soccer was decent, but the big thing was it was great for the team bonding. It was what we needed at this point of the program.
Right. So Chantilly Forever, let's just do a little bit of background on this. I know Shabazz is the technical director, is the guy to really give a lot of background, but it's such an interesting name. I know because whenever I mention the name on the show, or friends of mine watch the show, and the first thing they say is Chantilly Forever. Interesting name. Yes. So what's the background behind the name and the club, guys?
The background is a professional team in Jamaica.
Okay.
So Shabazz, obviously with his roots being Jamaican, brought that to Canada. Into an academy youth style form. So that's where it's linked up to, is in Jamaica.
It's linked up.
Yeah.
This is both of you guys, so this is your first year with Chantilly. You came from another club in Hamilton.
Correct.
Came over to the academy. First of all, how about for yourself, Jimmy? Why did you guys come over?
Well, large part of it, it's an academy. The league provides some competitive play, challenging, and an opportunity for the kids to have a platform to succeed. That's the big one. We found that in the regional programs, the quality may have been there, but it was not as often as we would like it, or as consistent as we would like it. This is an opportunity for us to showcase a lot more kids at a better quality, better level of standards.
Right, and you guys were mentioning to me before we actually came on the set was that what you really enjoyed so far is that every single game is competitive. You've got to bring your A game every time you get out there on the field.
Yeah, and that's what the important thing, like Jim just mentioned, you're going to get good games elsewhere, but it's just across the board. Every week's going to be a good game, and that's what we really wanted, not only for our players, but for ourselves as a challenge.
Yeah, what can kids expect then when they come to Chantilly? Because I know this is a program that goes all year round, isn't it? So what kind of training? You mentioned some of the great stuff you guys do even off the field in the wintertime, futsal, indoor soccer. I mean, I'm giving it all away just by saying this. We talk about some of that stuff and why it's an all year round program.
Well, it's 12 months out of the year. That's the commitment, and we mimic it to most pro academies. And we start with making sure that there's proper strength and conditioning done by personal trainers. And then we do our technical turf training. We do our futsal is very important. We do that once a week, and we also are entered in a competitive game, a league game, indoor.
Right, you guys, it's interesting start to the season for you guys. You played a lot of friendlies against, first year in the super group, first of all, for you guys.
Yes.
Played a few friendlies beforehand, did very well against the teams. First time out, you guys played ADP, who has a very strong team this year, under 14s. You lost 3-0. How do you guys assess your performance in the first game of league play?
Well, like you said, we had great success.
Right.
We had
a bit of an anomaly.
Yeah.
We didn't expect that to happen. Went down for a 3-0 loss. Didn't anticipate that happening given the positive results we had in our friendlies. Don't expect it to continue. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Just because we knew that the standard would be high, and we think we've achieved that standard to be able to, going forward, be able to compete with that super group.
Big game coming up for you guys this weekend against Epic. Of course, the under 16 team are national champions from last year. A lot of players from the under 14 team played up on that team last year. They're an extremely strong team. Talk about that and how you guys prepare for a team like Epic.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Like that's why we're here in the super group, and we're just preparing our boys. We're not going to prepare this week. We've been preparing for months, and we've put them in a position technically and tactically that they can get themselves out of any situation in the game and figure out the game and be comfortable and put them in position to succeed.
Yeah, this super group has a lot of parity.
Yeah.
The focus being Epic this week, but it's not strictly about Epic. It is really about the quality of the other squads that are also there. And when we were planning and structuring what we wanted to do going forward, way back 6 months ago, the idea was that, you know what, we're going to be a top-level team on par with any one of these teams, and we intend to go out there and show that going forward this week and for the rest of the season.
How are you guys, and even more importantly, how are the kids enjoying the CAF experience so far? The stadiums, national anthems, all that great stuff. How is everyone enjoying it so far?
Just love it. We love it. The professionalism, that Phil brings down to the league, and the show and everything else. The kids love it. We love it. Being part of the BMO experience was great.
Being down there, seeing exactly what they are seeing happening at BMO Field is happening with them.
Guys,
wonderful to be able to transfer it over.
We are out of time. Thank you so much for being here. Chantilly Forever FC.com if people want to find out more, right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks so much, guys. And more CAF TV coming up in just a moment. Welcome back to CAF TV. Well, for the second consecutive year, CAF players were front and center at BMO Field along with TFC. May 14th and 18th were CAF days at BMO, where the kids got to take part in game festivities with the Reds. This year, though, May 14th was just that extra bit special, as it was both the home opener and the grand reopening of the gorgeous, newly renovated BMO Field. It was an amazing night of celebration, and here's more from the opening night.
What exactly are you guys doing?
So we're gonna be in the fan tunnel and high-fiving the players. Yeah, so while they're walking out, we're gonna high-five them. Yeah, and we get signatures from the players. TFC, 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 TFC.
Fantastic year for us coming forward in 2016. We have over 1,000 people here for the home opener TFC. We got ball boys, we got player escorts, we have fan tunnel. The kids are very excited, and you know what? This is what it's all about. It's being around a professional environment with a beautiful stadium right here. The TFC Toronto C is a great organization, and to support professional soccer is the way to go. So really excited about our players and being part of this event, and continue to look for these guys as heroes.
This is actually my second time being in a TFC game, and I can't believe I'm gonna be one of the ball girls and ball boys. And it's like a personal goal for me that I actually get to see the TFC play right in front of my eyes.
great experience. You know, these events make a huge difference. Look at all these kids here. It's just a lot of fun. It's all about just showing yourself and the development that you're producing. And you know, over time, we will be seeing CAF players in TFC programs and professional programs.
TFC! 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 TFC!
They're all going to be going. They're in putting them all.
What a great experience for the kids. Okay, before we go, the CAF Countdown Top 5 Plays of the Week. Number 5, Mississauga United's Anthony Curich was breaking ankles with that move. Hits Giordano Mancini with the perfect pass. Gorgeous play there. Number 4, Croatia's Denis Poric against Epic from just outside the box. Lowers the boom. There was some mustard on that shot. Number 3, Mr. X, the international man of mystery whose name we don't know. Massive stops for Toronto against ADP. Fill out those game sheets, coaches. Come on. Number 2, Sahib Nagra from 20 yards out for Brampton Elite, going bar down against Epic. What a right foot that guy has. Beautiful shot. Number 1, Ronaldo Marshall narrowly missed out on the top spot last week. This week, he nabs it, leaving 3 Brampton players in his dust and slotting it home. Beautiful goal, and that is our CAF Countdown Play of the Week. And that's it for this week. Just remember to keep up on all things with the league. CAFsoccer.com is the website, at CAF_football on Twitter, and of course, Canadian Academy of Football on Facebook. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next week.